What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you are watching this on the replay at some point in the future, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and skip ahead to about the 10-minute mark, because we're going to do some live, like interactive stuff here in just a minute, and it won't make a lot of sense if you're watching this in the future. Now, if that does apply to you and you're not here live, I have a very important question I need to ask you, and that is, what the hell's wrong with you? A lot of the best parts of being on these streams is that you get to talk to our guests interactively, ask them questions, and find out things that are specific to you. So if you're not showing up live, you also don't get to participate in the giveaway that we're going to do here in just a minute as well. So what you should do is go ahead and click subscribe and the notification bell so that you can be here live every single time that we do a stream or a video drops or whatever. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask the folks that are on so far how the picture and sound quality is, because there's nothing more embarrassing than sitting here thinking you're talking and the sound is off. I recorded a video for one of my groups yesterday and it was so good, and I had the microphone muted. So I had to re-record the whole thing. So I wanted to make sure that I mean, you're able to hear me and see me, because we got a lot of great stuff to get into today. So, all right, Mocha Choka says sound and picture is good. Keith says, hey guys. Mubasher says hello. Somebody else says hello. Anise, what's up, Anise? Anise says thanks for coming live. Marco says, hey there, guys. Sadia, hello. Joe, hello. Great. All right, so I'm not going to waste any time, because it's, for us in the East Coast, it's a little later in the evening than usual, and for our guests, it's early in the morning. So we're going to go and get into our first fun thing to do, and that is a giveaway of some legit merch. Now, you'll notice I'm here at shop.legit.com, and that is our merch store, which I finally replaced the logo on, but not the favicon. You know, baby steps, but we're getting there. And what we're going to do is give away a piece of a legit merch in just a moment. And you can see we have a variety of options. I think this is new, actually. We have a tote bag. We have a backpack that's been very popular, a coffee mug, golf ball, although no one's ever chosen the golf ball. I guess no one wants to hit us. Several clothing options, tumblers, a wine glass, and a clock. I hope, what's his name? I hope Alexander is on today to try to win the clock, because he's been very, very interested in that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring up the software, because if I try to do it any other way, I get accused of being biased. Although our last two sessions, the same person has won both times, which is fascinating to me. So let's choose this stream and let's go agency for today's keyword. So what you're going to want to do is, for the next 5 minutes or so, you're going to type the word agency in the chat or in the comments or wherever you're watching, because that will enter you into the drawing for some sexy legit merch. Now, fair warning, if you are a gentleman and you wear some legit merch in public, you are not going to be able to keep the ladies away from you. So just be prepared for that. It happens to me every time I go in public, and just so you know, not one word of that is true. Anyway, yeah, so if you're in a Facebook, now if you're in a Facebook group and you're showing up as Facebook user, you're going to need to go ahead and authorize StreamYard, or else it won't pick up your entry. So all you have to do is go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. And I'm going to put that on the screen here in just a second. So just go there. There's like 2 clicks after that, and then you will, then you'll be authorized, and you can play along at home. So there's that. I didn't post to Facebook for some reason, but whatever. Now that's not going to be a problem much longer, because Facebook is actually shutting off Facebook group API access. So won't be able to stream directly to groups anymore, which is a pain in the butt. I'll have to share it to a page and then share the page into the group, and it's a whole thing. But, you know, these are the problems I have, so it's a good life. Now, while that's going on, I'm going to jump over here and annoy some folks and do an at everyone in a couple of groups to make sure that everybody's paying attention. I know that annoys the hell out of some people, and I don't care, because I get better reach. And when I do that, and my goal is to reach as many folks as possible. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Let's go. No, and lots of people saying agency. So you're going to do that. And that. So you are, if you're in several of my groups, you're going to get notified several times, and that's just the way it's going to go. That, and got one over here. Hope everyone is doing well. I know we're at a different time than usual, but when we have great international guests like this, we have to make some accommodations because we want to hear what they have to say. And as much as I wish the world was all one time zone, that's just not how it works. All right. Lots of people saying agency. Apparently people want that merch, and who can blame them? So one more place. All right, we got about, let's say we'll go to 5:09. So we got less than 2 minutes remaining, and then we will get into it with today's stuff because we got some good stuff for you today. Good turnout today. We are live on YouTube on the Chris M. Walker channel. We're in the Legit official Facebook group, the Superstar SEO Academy group, the Legit Agency Owners group, the Superstar SEO group, my personal profile on Facebook, and also on X or Twitter, depending upon your preference there. So lots of folks on, about 45 or so at the moment. And we got less than 2 minutes remaining. Less than 1 minute remaining now. There's no seconds on the Windows 11 clock, as I complain about every single stream. Nafis, what you need to do is go to the streamyard.com/Facebook, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago. That's how you're going to authorize it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. There you go. I saw you in there somewhere. All right, less than a minute remaining, and then we're going to pick our winner. And then we're going to introduce our guest. Who has a much cooler setup than I do, which is pissing me off. All right, few seconds left. Lots of folks saying agency, and this should get some attention too, which, again, is the name of the game. And time. Let's choose our winner. And and Make Money Online is the winner today. That's pretty funny. Make Money Online. What you need to do is go over to shop.legit.com and pick out whatever piece of merch that you would like. And then what you're going to do is hop over to legit.com and message the on-site support. Tell them that you won. Tell them what that you want. Tell them what piece of merch that you want. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. And if it's something that requires a size, tell them your size, and then tell them your mailing address, and they'll get that shipped right on out to you. So congratulations, Make Money Online. Let me save that. And be sure to include your real name and stuff like that too, because obviously that's not your name. Or if it is, you are just got really lucky. All right. I am here today with Kherk Roldan. Now, Kherk is someone who interviewed me on his channel 3 or 4 years ago. And I've gotten to know him a little bit since then. And what Kherk does is he's done just about everything in SEO. He's got a nice YouTube channel, runs a white label agency, and has been in the business a long time. And he's coming to us live today from the Philippines. So by my calculation, that puts it at about 5 a.m. there. So We need to be respectful of the fact that he got up early to be here with us today. So, Kherk, how's it going?
Hey, Chris. I'm privileged to be here. Thank you so much for that.
You have a really cool like audio setup there in the background and stuff.
Yeah, we have the same setup, I believe. Oh,
No, no, we definitely
oh
don't.
no. Okay.
Mine is just a room with some toys in it. But anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about you and your background and your origin story, as it were, and we'll go from there.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for the great introduction. I really appreciate it. And also to be here, my privilege. So, to everyone who doesn't know my story yet, by the way, guys, my name is Kherk Roldan, and it started way back 2011 before I graduated in a Bachelor of Science in Nursing because I'm a nurse. However, I didn't take time to take the licensure examination because I don't want to become a nurse, honestly. Because I believe if I took the nice licensure examination, I become a nurse and go abroad. Because everyone here from the Philippines, if they 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 graduated as a nursing, they go abroad. So I don't want to be the same with my family, friends, and colleagues. So before I graduated, I look for a way on how to make money online because I don't want to become my friends and colleagues and other family members as well. So I research a lot, and I also ask a friend how are you earning a lot of money? And he told me, just go to that website or a freelancing website before. So yeah, I did my research and start from there. I submitted application resume for no resume that time for a month, and no one responded to my application. I just said there, hire me because I'm an expert, even though I don't have any experience in SEO. Yes, I did that before, and no one responded to my application. I asked him again, no one responded, and he told me, yeah, just create a resume. So that time I created a resume, and after that, someone responded to my application after 2 weeks applying with resume. So it's good, and I cannot remember. I cannot forget the feeling like I'm very interested to work for free, and she told me or she provided me $1 per hour, and that $1 per hour turns to $2, $3, $4, and suddenly become to from 10 hours to 20, 30 until I'm working with her for 160 hours per month or full time, and then suddenly created my or added two clients, three clients or more. And then suddenly I cannot handle anymore. So I created my agency, work from home from that point, and then started to build my first agency from scratch, no, way back 2014. And then but we have a bad domination that time because we are not focused. We are working with multiple agency, uh, e-commerce, local businesses, multiple, and then we cannot scale the business because we get stuck. Now, if you're in legit, so you can scale your business because they are very no, we are very good platform when it comes to SEO and also other digital marketing services. But on my end, if you don't have a website, then if you're multiple or targeting everybody, you cannot scale your business that time. So um, for me that's a failure because we are not scaling the business to the ground. So one day, I asked my wife, "Hey, we need to go out and then we need to have a brainstorming about this because we cannot scale the business." So we go out brainstorming research, and I decided to focus with providing digital marketing owners some help. So we focus on providing white label SEO to digital marketing agencies only. So suddenly from having a limited amount of clients, then we suddenly increase it, and we are also going to scale from 20 employees. Now we're about 110 to be exact, here, all office based in Surigao City, Mindanao. So that's the story, Chris.
Fantastic. And first of all, guys that are still saying agency, that's over with. So you don't have to say agency anymore.
Mm.
That's a great story. You, it's amazing how many people that have had success in this industry come from outside this industry and were unhappy with their situation and kind of worked into it. Because it wasn't nursing for me, but it was a similar thing from
Oh,
IT to this now, so that's good. So you talked about running an agency and running a white label agency. Can you talk about the difference between, because some people may not know what white label means? Can you talk about what white labeling means, and then what's different about doing that as opposed to working directly with clients?
okay. So white label, meaning you are providing services to the same agency owners like us. So since we are working with, or since we are doing SEO, then we are also working with a digital marketing company, and we are providing or fulfilling their services. Let's say an SEO, on page, anything that we are delivering or providing as services. So that is white label. And a regular agency, they're working with like any agencies, like in digital marketing, local businesses, e-commerce. So they are not focused. They are not productized, and but it's also working. But this white label, we are focusing to a niche specific, like in digital marketing.
Okay.
Mm,
Now, what challenges do you find with white label? Because I've done some white labeling, and I find that I like it in most respects, but
mm.
sometimes SEOs can be the worst clients in some ways.
I
Like,
believe.
what are some challenges that you find there, and what are some challenges you find with working directly with clients, and like why is one better than the other, kind of thing?
Yeah, there are pros and cons with working with an agency or directly to the client. So if you're working directly with the client, it's great because you can scale your business like much faster as well. Because let's say, for example, that client doesn't know any doesn't know any SEO, doesn't know how to do this, how to do that. Then you can ask them for a higher rate compared to digital marketing agencies, because when working with digital marketing agencies, they want to get a cut or a huge profit from you. So let's say if your rate is 1,500 US dollar per month, then they want to ask you a bulk, like uh how about give me 800 US dollar, so that they can earn a lot more, right? But the agency owner, the local businesses, you can ask a lot of profit with that, or you can earn a lot with that. However, in the best side with working with agency owner as well, or white label, is that they were going to hire you in a bulk matter, which means like they can hire you like 10 clients, 20 clients. So you can scale your business much faster as well compared to working with directly with the client. So that's the pros for both sides.
Okay. So the thing with running an agency, whether it's white label or direct to client or whatever, is you're kind of running two businesses at the same time in a sense, because you
Mm.
have to grow the business and get
Yes.
clients and keep the bucket full, as they
Oh,
say, but you also have to do the work.
yes.
And I find that people struggle with either one or the
Mm.
other. So let's talk about each. Like, let's start
Okay.
with the fulfillment. How do you go about making sure that you fulfill the things you promised for people? Because that's obviously important, because you want to get results and keep them happy and so on. So how do you systemize that? Do you have SOPs, or what's your procedure there?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's a great question about fulfillment, no? So I don't know about you, Chris. Maybe you have a different process with what we are doing, but on our side, so we provided a clear goals to, and also instruction to our people. Like we have a set of standards that we need to provide, since we are providing white label, because we are providing white label services to digital agencies. So they needs to have a quality deliverables, and also we need to provide results, and that's a higher standards compared to just working with local businesses, because they don't know how SEO works or something like that. But agencies, they are very different. So in our deliverables, you need to set goals on the quality that you are going to provide. And for example, in the deliverables that we have, like in monthly SEO, for example, we just don't submit the deliverables to them instantly. Let's say if that person doing the work, or that SEO on page specialist doing the work, we need to have tests like a couple of times before sending it to the client. Like the SEO specialist or on-page SEO specialist will check the work. Second check will do the project manager. He or she will check the work as well. Third is the operation manager. After checking the operation manager, that's the time they're going to submit it to the client. And then inside the result as well, we are also providing them the result, or we are going to providing them promises. So we have four promises here. First is promises about the deliverables, like we can fulfill the quality, the quantity of that subscription that you made. That's the promise about deliverables. Second, promise about the communication. So the communication should be responded on a daily matter, like we are available every single day, 8 hours a day. Then if you're asking us question about the time frame, then we can respond to your concern. Third promise is about the team. We're going to provide you a quality team member specialized for a couple of years for that subscription that you made. Fourth promise is about the ranking, because that's very important to them, that they're also going to see the results since we are providing them the e-white label. So about the result, we cannot just say, hey, we can provide you the results in 3 months, but we need to have a buffer time so that we can fulfill their needs. Let's say if we know that we can provide them results in just 4 months, then we are going to tell them, give us 6 months before you can start seeing the result. We don't say that we can rank all your keywords and pages in just 6 months. No, we don't do that. But we can say we can start seeing the result, so that they won't expect you can provide the result, all of the keywords and pages rank on the first page in just 6 months. And yes, we are also providing the standard operating procedure, or SOP, to all our services deliverables. Let's say if we are doing on page, we have an SOP for that. Keyword research on page, how to communicate with clients, how to do this, how to do that. We are doing it for all of our processes to make sure we are only using one system here in the company, and making sure that, like, we are doing the standard. Okay, so let's say if we have a non-working process, then we will remove it to our SOP, so that we can only focus to what is working right now. That's very important in our company, Chris.
Great. How do you go about keeping your SOPs up to date? Like, if things
Mhm.
change, so
Yes,
when something
good
changes, you
question.
can't just go change the document, but you also have to change the entire process, right? And I've always found that to be
Mm.
a huge pain in the ass.
Yes.
So how do you go about that?
Actually, that is correct, Chris. So because every time someone will do the work, like for example, today that person doing 10 on-page optimization for multiple projects, no, multiple pages as well. So if they know the process, then he is doing it repeatedly every day. He can know what's the changes from that aspect, and then they will notify us that, hey, this process is different right now because what we did earlier is not the same. And then once we hit the notification about that, we're going to check it as well if that is relevant, if that's still the same. And then, but if it's still working, or if it's still working, however, there are some changes, then we are also going to check it and then decide the outcome if we are going to change it. But basically, we're also still going to check it and then need time to to change it, because we cannot just change instantly, right? Same thing to what you said. It take time, time consuming as well to do that every single time. So like we need for a couple of weeks and then change it on that way. So we can still recognize it if there are changes, because someone in the team are always doing the work every day. So we can know what's changes on what needs to be done there.
Okay. So what is your offer like? Do you have multiple packages? Is it month to month? Do they have to
Mm.
sign a 12-month contract? Like, what's your offer like? How do you package it?
Okay. So yeah, to those of you guys who's doing the offer, I believe you also providing SEO services here. And when you provide an offer, that's very, very great question as well. So to those of you thinking offer is like just providing a service, no, that is not an offer. If you're providing Facebook ads, Google ads, content creation, that is not an offer. An offer is how are you going to solve their problem, or to the result
Mhm.
that you're going to provide to them. That's your offer. So on our end, we provided a solution, like depends on the client problem that we have, and then we are going to create an audit. Based from the audit, we're going to create a strategy. But we also have this set of services on our website. Let's say it's banded, like if they want to have a monthly subscription, we have that services. If they are only looking for keyword research, we have that services. On page technical SEO, GMB, local SEO, link building, all those things we have that, Chris, on our
Okay.
services.
And so do you focus on do you take any kind? Is it local? Is it GMB, local organic? Do you take affiliate sites? What do you take? Who do you work with? I guess is
Oo. Yeah, mainly right now, we are working with GMB, local, and e-commerce. We don't accept like into gambling or other website or
adult.
other industry. Yes, but we are focusing to ano to digital marketing agencies.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
our main concern right now.
so maps and organic or just maps?
Maps and organic as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's challenging because organic is pretty I don't want to say simple, but
Mm.
it works the same every time for the most part. Maps, I find, from campaign to campaign can be completely different. So it's that's challenging to do as a white label. I have a few like that myself, but it's not something I push because frankly I
Mm.
don't want the headache. uh,
Oo.
so
So I just want to share about the specialization as well, Chris, because
okay.
we discuss about about the specific industry, no. So I have this SEO positioning that we are working with the client. So depends on what your strength are,
Mhm.
because you cannot scale your business seems to what since the same to what I discussed earlier. You cannot focus or scaling your agency into having a lot of people, or scaling your income every single month. No, if you are working with everybody, yeah, it will work as well, but you can't scale because we're talking about scaling and working. So if you're good in on page, you can specialize with on page. If you're good in link building, you can specialize in link building. You can do that, or
Okay.
GMB, or content, or local SEO, depends on you. Second, you can also focus in industry. So in industry, if let's say if you love the beauty industry, love the real estate or professional services, you can also focus in industry related niches. Third one is the businesses. So the businesses, that's what we are right now, focusing to digital marketing agencies, or you can focus with local businesses, or B2B, or e-commerce. Depends on you. That works for us, and also it will also work for you as well if you do that. In legit, yes, you can target everyone there. You can also become a
Mhm.
successful because they have a lot of successful people there providing services. It's not a problem in legit. However, if you have your own website, then you need to stand out to your competition. You need to be different. You need to provide result. You need to provide customer relationship good. So it's a different story.
Okay. Let's jump over to the other side of the business now. We talked about the fulfillment. I think we've covered that pretty well. And by the way, if anybody has any questions at any point, just drop them in the comments or in the chat, and we'll get to them at the end. I won't miss any. Well, I won't miss most questions. There's some, if it's how to get orders on legit, I'm going to ignore you. But there's and a few other things, but for the most part, we'll answer any question. But like I said, the other side of running an agency, whether it's a white label agency like yours, or it's a direct to client agency or whatever, is getting clients. And I know a lot of people struggle with that because
Mm.
SEO tends to attract more introverted type of people that don't want to go out and sell or don't know how to go out and sell, myself included. It took me a long time to get to be able to even do stuff like this. So, how have you gone about going and systemizing getting clients and making sure that there's a constant stream of people to work with and still manage to fulfill for them?
All right. Yeah, that's a good question. So, for me, everything will be in the brand storytelling. You need to be, you need to have a brand or a brand storytelling about your business. You cannot just say, okay, I have this logo color orange. I have this font. That's a brand. No, it's not a brand. Brand is beyond the logo or everything. Brand is like a history of your business, your vision, mission, and goals. You need to have that first before you're going to to get clients or to look for a client. Because if you don't know your brand story, you can have a problem from there. So, like for example, an Apple. Apple, they are not just selling products; they are selling dreams. They are selling aspirations, right? Or for Coca-Cola, they are sharing stories for regular people about the happiness of, and also the communication within their brand. So we need to have that first, no? So brand storytelling is very important. Now, what's your brand? What's your unique story? Let's say, for example, if they if after the call, what are they thinking about you? Do they remember your name? Do they remember your services? Do they remember you basically? Or they just know you, they just know your name after the call or after the meeting. So we need to have that. Since we are talking about this branding thing, then I'm also going to share you the strategy, what we are doing. So because right now, Chris, we are not really like pitching clients, because we are just providing the brand awareness. Like for example, we are posting a regular content about who we are, about what our purpose, values, mission, and goals on our social media, and then people are get interested and they are contacted me about that. I'm also going to to share you guys that you like providing value to the group. Like for example, in Chris group, they're providing value there. So you can see what they are posting online. They're sharing value, and then people will get contacted them because they are providing value, not just, hey, I'm looking for a job, hey, this is my services. It's not the right way to do business with. So go to the Facebook groups, share your value, and let people contact you when they see you have a value. Then it doesn't, or they will contact you right away. So go to Facebook groups, provide value, and then let people know who you are. Post about your wins, your case studies, something like that. And also your Facebook profile is very important, that you need to brand as well. Let's say if mine, I'm in color orange, I'm posting content or images with my branding color, with the values, mission, and goals regularly. I don't post crap content in my profile, because people will see that and they don't like it as well. So focus with your brand, and then optimize your profile. If you're yeah, link outreaching is, it works as well. We did that, but we're not really focusing on that aspect, because our digital marketing agencies are very easy to get. Okay, we can get clients easily because they know us. So it also takes time, if you're providing or getting your brand from scratch. So that's a different story. It takes time, but it's worth it.
Great. Yeah,
Mm.
I do something similar. That's I call it the celebrity method, in that
Oh,
you put
wow.
out enough value and enough content to make yourself a celebrity in your niche, so people
Mm-mm,
will come to you. And I
mm-mm,
haven't had, I mean, getting clients isn't a big part of my business anymore, but at least not direct SEO clients. But I
oh,
haven't had to do that in a long time
oh,
because I've built up such a like a personality that people will come to me. So I don't mean that to sound arrogant, of course, but like, it works, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's good to hear someone else say that.
mm-mm.
We got a
That's good.
question from Marco. He says, how many staff do we need when it comes to scaling, and how much we need to pay our employees? So how do you know how many people to hire for what level you're at? Because that obviously increases
Mm-mm.
as you increase the amount of people, or the amount of the customers that you have. So how do you scale and have enough people to do the job well, but not to the point where you have more overhead than you need?
Yeah, that's a good question, Marco. So first, you need to know where you are right now, or if you need people. Okay, if you want to scale your business, because scaling is a different thing. You need to evaluate where you are right now. Like, we need these people. If we are going to hire more people, can we sustain them? Do we have enough client? So if you already have an agency right now, and then you cannot scale, you cannot work anymore because you need more employees, then that's the right time you need to scale. Scaling means increasing your people, increasing your salary as well, increasing your client. Those are scaling, to those of you who doesn't know what is scaling yet. So yeah, evaluate how many people do you need, And also about your question in how much we need to pay for our employees. So here in the Philippines, we have this regulation that we are following. Every city that we have, it's a different rate or monthly rate. So we are following that. Here in Surigao City, we have this Caraga rate that we are following, and it's good to go so that you are obligation to pay them. So in regards to the pay fees, then you need to ask or know it in your place because you have this standard regulation rates. Or if you're outsourcing from or from work from home, depends on the services that you're offering. I cannot just say, hey, this is the rate because we have a different services that you're offering, no. So yeah,
Okay.
if you can't scale your business if you don't have more client, okay, so better like get clients first, and then if you can't uh unload them to your team, then that's the right time you need to hire a team. But with what we are doing right now is train them first. We cannot just hire people and then give it to the client or work with the client without you training them for like a couple of months, even though they know what is SEO, how to work with clients or something like that. You need to train them first before giving it to the client.
Great. Um, Somebody else asks, I guess this is similar to a question I asked earlier, but what is the
Mm.
service you promise to your clients? Is it page one ranking or getting higher rank on Google? I guess what do they expect to get from you? Like, do you promise? Obviously, you can't promise a number one, but do you
Yeah.
promise page one or what do you promise?
Yeah. So yeah, same thing to what I said earlier. Promises is very important. You need to make sure that you can fulfill that promise. If they don't receive what your promises are, then you can have a problem with that. You can also create a better solution on how to fix it if it will happen. So what is the service you promise to your client? Yes, we promise like we can provide them ranking on the first page. It's a guarantee, but we cannot just provide a time like, hey, on the 6 months you can rank this. Okay, we can rank this keyword in the first page position, but what we are saying is that we can rank your client starting on 6 months. Depends on the keyword, depends on the competition as well. We will check that. So we also have this buffer time. Let's say if we can rank this keyword in just 4 months, then we will still say to them 6 months so that we can have a buffer time. Let's say if we can rank them on fourth month, then we still have 2 months left. The ranking number one is guarantee. However, we cannot just guarantee the time. So we provide them a buffer time, and then we're telling them we can start to see the result on 6 months, starting, not providing them the result on 6 months. That's a different story. Because if they expect that you provide them a ranking for 10 of their keywords during the 6 months, then if you cannot fulfill it, then you can have a problem with that. Yes, we are providing page one ranking as well for our clients. But if they say like 3 months, no, we're not going to accept them because we're also making sure to provide them the results in the long run.
Okay. So, what do you say to people that ask, how many leads will this get me? How much more sales will this get me? And so on. I personally tell them that's not my problem. Like I
Mm.
obviously I say it nicer than that, but it's like
Yeah.
my goal. I don't not a fan of the guy, but I got this analogy from Cotton Grammar years ago where he said that what we are digital real estate agents, and our a job is to move you from a bad neighborhood, which
Mm.
is page 2, 3, whatever, to a good neighborhood, page 1, where people are walking by the store every day and giving you more chance to get people in the door. But it's not my job to actually get people in the door. So,
Yes, I
but
agree.
customers always ask that. So, how do you address that?
Yeah, same thing, Chris. I guess we have the same process with that one, so we don't guarantee how many leads they can get, how many calls they can get as well. But let's say for example in local, then we can, if we can rank their GMB at the top position, then we're good to go. We can see how many calls they get, then that's good to go. It's not really our problem if like they don't have many calls. Maybe you have a problem with your website, maybe you have a crappy offer, maybe your website loading speed is really bad. So how can they convert into sales or a buyer if you have a problem with that, right? So yeah, we are also going to look with that aspect because it's a different story. But ranking is what we really thing that we can provide to them, not like leads, phone calls, and sales.
Great. How many keywords do you promise on when page one, when you say rank on page one? Yeah. So how many keywords is that for? Is it one? Is it 10? How do you define that for
Mm.
people?
Okay. So yes, that's also a good question. A Facebook user. So depends on their subscription because we have this different packages that we have. So for example, in GMB, no. So if their subscription is only one keyword, then that's a one keyword. If the subscription they subscribe is five keyword, then we can work with five keywords. If the subscription is 10 keywords included, then we can work with that. Basically it's depends on their subscription. Mm.
Okay. Sorry, just responding to something there. This is specifically the question that I said I was not going to answer. So, what you need to do, I can't even pronounce what your name is, but just go to legit and message the support, and they'll send you a whole bunch of things that you can use to get some sales.
Mm.
Anise, who is a channel regular, says, "How can we provide clients as? How can we prove clients as an SEO consultant after ranking them on specific keywords that these specific 10 or 100 clicks convert them in sales, like in social media ads that track sales?" So I don't know the answer to this myself. I guess I'll toss it over to you. But in general, SEO is much harder to track than paid ads, unfortunately. So how do you go about tracking that for people, or do you even try other than a rank tracker?
All right. So Anis, how can we prove clients as an SEO consultant after ranking them on specific that this specific organic?
I guess what they're asking is how do they know traffic they're getting is coming from SEO? I guess that goes back to how you position what you promise, right? Like if you
Mm.
promise ranking, it
Mm.
doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
as far as your job goes, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
But so do you do any kind of, do you have any answer to that?
Yeah, actually, we're tracking them on Google Analytics, tracking them on Search Console, tracking them in Ahrefs, and we also use SEMrush. So that's only thing that we are checking with the ranking. However, we're not really tracking like if they are converting into sales because that's not part of what we are doing in the organic aspect of the agency. Yeah.
Okay, so Marco, it says you said that you're paying solution to your clients. How come you said it's not your problem if they're not getting leads? In the first place, they hired you to rank their business. I mean, you kind of answered your own question.
Mm.
They hired you to rank the business, not
Mm.
to bring in leads. Now, there are other agencies that succeed very well at selling a lead on a lead per lead basis.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that model at all. I know people that make millions of dollars a year doing that.
Mm.
I never did that in my agency. I always promised ranking. Like I
Mm.
said, I use that digital real estate analogy, and
Mm.
my goal is to, and I make it very clear to them ahead of time, so there's no disappointment. But that my goal is to get them to the better position. That better position should lead to more calls and more sales, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it can lead to more leads and more calls and more sales, because for a fact, I mean, I know that they'll get seen more, but
Mm.
I can't make people click on the site. I can't make people fill out a form or pick up the phone or whatever.
Mm.
So that's why I don't do it on a per lead basis. What's your answer to that?
Yeah, same thing to what you said, Chris. So that's only what we promise. We cannot promise that like if you provided them the results or the ranking number one, then how many people will buy the product, right? Because it's a different story. But usually, once we rank the website, basically you will still get the traffic, the results, the sales because they're there. You're there in the organic search result number one. So, but we don't promise like how many people will buy your product, how many people will convert into leads or sales. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, that was the end of the questions. So the other thing I want to touch on, we got about a few minutes left still. You do a lot of teaching as well. You mentioned that in the bio that you sent me, and that I've just seen from your YouTube channel and other things. So, if somebody were trying to start an agency or scale an agency, what would be the first piece of advice you would give them?
All right. Started an agency and also scaling an agency. So
Yeah.
they are a different story. Okay, so starting your industry, that's also my main topic in Vietnam this coming next week for the SEO conference. No, so first you need to know, you need to understand your industry. Okay, you need to understand the competition. You need to understand where you are right now. Do you know what is SEO before you're starting, or you have a mentor that you're working to right now? Because you can have a lot of problem if you don't do it. So first, similar to what I said earlier, you need to have an SEO positioning. What are you going to focus? It's either business to business, it's either local or industry. So you need to have that first, and then decide what you are going to offer. Okay, so going back to the offer to what I discussed earlier, just watch it earlier, and then you need to plan for your business, plan for your SEO agency. Like for planning, you need to have a vision, mission, and goals. You need to have that first before creating an agency from scratch. No, yes, you can work your business if you don't have a plan, but it won't last long. Believe me, it will get stuck, and you will stop. You may notice there are businesses that they stop because they don't have any vision. You need have any mission, goals, and also objective for your business. So better right now, since you are listening right now, you need to have that ano uh planning, better planning up for your business, no? And then customer relations, very important. So once you get a client, then you need to communicate with them carefully. There are also SEOs and agencies, like if they have this, or if they're doing outreaching, they're really good, they're communicating very fast, they will provide a faster communication and results. However, during that time they're already the client, then the communication decrease, the deliverables and also the quality of the work is decreasing as well. So we don't do it. Making sure you have a good customer relationship. And also, since you're talking about how you can start your agency, you need to have a proper structuring of your business. Can I share my screen, Chris, since we're
Sure.
already here, so I
Yeah.
can just
In the
show
middle,
it to them?
I don't know if you're familiar with StreamYard, but there's a button that says present,
Okay,
and
so
then just click that, and then I'll add it to the screen.
all right. So how about that? Do you see it right now?
Yep.
Okay, so since you're talking about the how you can start now, so this is a wrong way on how you're going to structure your SEO agency. Okay, so you're here as a CEO, or if you have a head of SEO in your agency, then this is not the right way, because you have this SEO specialist, you have this SEO specialist here, then you are talking to them every single day that they have a problem, if they are looking for the solution. So you got a lot of bombarded communication with them. So it's not really good to communicate with you on that specific matter. No, so you need to have a team there before you, and then you cannot just provide SEO specialist, or you cannot, or all our specialists here, they are into different department. They don't work with SEO, content, lead generation, technical, and then link building. They don't do it. So this is what we are doing right now. Oops, where is the other? No, I don't see the image. So actually, it's a different image. Let me grab it now. Hopefully, I have it here. Hold on.
While we're doing that, I'm gonna look and see if I can answer some of the other questions. Jason says, if you use your agency, what should we tell our clients and expectations? Just whatever package you buy, whatever is promised with that package, just tell them that. Paul says, I've spoken to Kherk before. He's a good guy. Yeah, well, thank you, Paul. See, this some Facebook user says some of the sites have a very high loading time. Google sees the loading speed as one of the parameters for ranking. How do you overcome this situation? I'm going to go ahead and tell you that that's bullshit. I know that pushed that notion that core web vitals and site speed was a big ranking factor, but evidence doesn't support that, and that's how I like to make my decisions, is based on evidence. So I don't think it supports it. Having said that, that doesn't mean you should have a slow website, because you absolutely should. Uh, but it doesn't. I lost my train of thought. But it doesn't have a big impact on Google ranking. So that's that. All right, and add that to the stage. All right, we can see that now.
All right. Yeah, thank you for waiting. I'm very sorry about that. So this is a good SEO structuring. So since we are talking about how you can build your agency from scratch or SEO agency, so this is you. I don't want to be called a CEO. So we're here in the top. I like to be called a visionary because I have a vision, mission in the company to lead them, to be a leader, to stand with them. And then below me we have this chief operation officer. So that chief operation officer, he's the one handling all the ins and out in the company, like the human resources, the project manager, the SEO assistant, finance officer, and also customer relation. So and then beside him we have a human resources in the left section. I don't know why I don't have this a cursor, but human resources, she's handling the absences, the late, and all related to the staff problem. So they are taking care of it. We also have this finance officer. So you don't do the sales, you don't do the money problem, their problem. Below them, we have this SEO project manager. So we are in the third line. So SEO project manager, they're handling all the team members below, all related to the project, not us ahead. Then beside her, since we cannot we have a lot of clients, we had a lot of leads, so we have this assistant project manager. Basically it's her assistant, and beside the SEO project manager we have this customer support handling all the clients concern. Now this is the good part. So in the fourth line here we have on page team leader, content, link building. So every department that we have this team leader. Okay, the good thing with the team leader is that they're going to handle their department, like on page team leader. In our department we have 10 on page team leader. We have no on page what we have one on page team leader, and then we have 10 on page SEO specialist. So we are in the last line right now. uh, that on page SEO specialist will only do the on page SEO specialist or on page SEO task related. They don't do technical, even though they are related, but they don't do it. They're only focused to optimizing the pages. They also don't do keyword research. They also don't do the content creation. They also don't do the technical link building and also other aspect of the business. They just optimize those pages. So now, and also and so on and so forth. Like we also have content, link building, team leader, technical. So that team leader is very important because they are handling the department. No, so they don't. Uh, you don't need to worry about handling that aspects because you have this team leader. Their obligation is to look for that department. If we have a problem, then that team leader will talk to, not all of them, because you can't manage them because you have if you have a lot of members. And then yeah, that last part is on page specialist. So basically we don't work, or we don't work like this person can do all related tasks like on page, content, technical, because it takes time. It's hard for you. Yes, it will still work if you're on, or if your SEO specialist can do all those tasks, but it's hard for you to scale because they are doing everything, and we did that before, but it won't work. Okay, so yes, that's also the reason why that we are focusing to having a good structure, not this not in the poor SEO structure that I'm sharing you earlier. So yeah, that's how we structure our SEO company, and it works for us. It will also work for you.
Great. All right, we're going to take one more question and then we're going to wrap up. Let's see. Yes, I ranked them with SEO, but the question is the website's running ads at the same time and getting traffic from both. Yes, Google Analytics can show traffic, organic and paid. So how can we prove that organic and traffic is converted into sales, or not like Facebook, Google ad sales by SEO? Is there any way to prove them? SEO organic helps in sales. Use Microsoft Clarity for this purpose, but sometimes this amazing tool doesn't record the bit in and then it cuts off the rest of the question. Basically, I guess we're back to tracking. There's only so much you can do. Like there are tools out there. There's Wicked Reports. There's Microsoft Clarity, and so on. But at some point, they're going to have to trust that SEO works. Like it gets traffic and it gets sales. I don't know how you can provide it. You can prove it to them specifically, short of showing them when if you go into your analytics and show that something came from search. Like Clicky Analytics will show that as something came, like what clicks came from search. If they are insistent upon that, they sound like a problem client, to be perfectly honest. But that's how I would prove it to them, is go into your analytics and show which traffic came from search, or how much traffic came from search, and they're just going to have to accept that. And if they're also doing PPC, then you can just back out how many clicks PPC had. That's never going to be exactly the same because Google isn't even consistent among its own tools. But I think that's the best that you can do. And if you're just transparent with them when you start working with them, what they can expect for reporting, this won't be a problem. So that's the best answer to that, I think.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap up there. We only have a couple minutes left. So is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Yes, to those of you who's new into SEO or building an agency, just have a plan. You need to plan your action first before doing all this thing, because you have a lot of competitors out there. You need to have a better planning before you can do it. And then just have a mentor. Just have like someone like Chris that has a lot of knowledge in regards to SEO. He also got his courses, training, and like you have this freelancing website legit and have a lot of successful SEO services provided there, so you can start from there as well. I guess that's the easiest and much faster way before you can earn online, right? Because you don't need to have a website. You can place your services there, and then everything are there, like the training, people. So yeah, start from there if you're starting in SEO.
Well, thank you for that free plug. Where should people go to find you or learn more from you or whatever? Should they go to your YouTube channel or what?
Yeah, if you want to, or if you're interested to learn from me in SEO agency, yeah, you can go to my YouTube channel, Kherk Roldan SEO. We also have this website, no, kherkroldanseo.com.
Wonderful. All right. And that's your YouTube channel there on the screen,
Yes.
if people want to check that out. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I thank you I know it's early for you, so I appreciate you taking the time to get up and do that. It's not every day that people willing to do that. I certainly wouldn't be willing to do it to get up for somebody else's channel. But thank you, Kherk. And I'll be back on Thursday with Dan Ray, who's a link building expert. That should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that one. And then next week I have Robbie Rizik on the 9th and Lycian Rossiani on the 11th. And then after that, we have Matt Zimmerman from Zimwriter and Umar Faizan and Mads Singer coming up too. Dan says me. Yes, me. Dan will be with me on Thursday afternoon. So look forward to that. Kherk, thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much as well, Chris, for having me here. I really appreciate it. I love the vibes and everything that you're doing to the community. Thank you so much for that. Wonderful.
Thank you. And to everybody that attended, thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you spent some time here with us today. That's something I appreciate and will never take for granted. So thank you for that. It means a lot. And most of all, figure out what you want out of life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. I'll see you again in a couple of days. Peace.
Thank you.